Hello, beautiful soul. My name is Anne Vivian. Welcome to Mystical Adventures, the show where we explore all things mystical, healing, creative, and inspiring. Today's topic is flower healing, flower magic. We're going to explore how to work with the energy of flowers. We're in the season of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, and I felt inspired to explore this with you today. And I am going to guide us in a guided visualization, guided meditation at the end of today's show. So stick around for that. And I just want to remind you that my friend Sylvia Gover, the dream educator and author in dream studies, is going to be joining us. Let me check my calendar to make sure I have this right. Yes, on June 22nd, which is actually the day that Mercury goes direct. And as some of you may be aware, the planet Mercury, ruling communication, travel, technology, is going retrograde on Saturday. So it's a great time to redo, rethink, reorganize, reassess, as we have the opportunity to, quote, go backwards with our thinking and our mental state. So thanks again so much for joining me here on Mystical Adventures on the fabulous A1R Psychic Radio Network, Earth's #1 psychic radio. Whether you're watching on one of the social media platforms or listening, I'm so glad you've joined us today. This is also the week of the full moon. We're having a full moon in Sagittarius. Don't you love Sagittarius? The sign of abundance, prosperity, wisdom, world travel, world religion. And it's also an eclipse. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how the flowers and flower energy might be helpful to you with the full moon this week. So before we get into that, I wanted to share with you the spirit helper of the week. Every week I tune in to the plant, animal, mineral, angelic, ascended master, or other expanded consciousness spirit helper that wants to bestow us with a message for this upcoming week. And this week, a plant did come through, the Wisteria vine plant spirit. And Wisteria is a beautiful, gorgeous, trailing, tapering vine. It's associated with femininity. When Wisteria plant spirit visited me, I felt this soothing energy, and I felt her educating me about how Wisteria can soothe a stressful environment. It can transform some anxiety or negative energy from a crowd and uplift the vibration. It's interesting because in the spirit message, she talks about how Wisteria is often around a crowd. It's a plant that's grown in gardens over trellises and such, and canopies, and so it's often associated with parties and crowds. And so part of this flower spirit, plant spirit, is providing wisdom about how to work with crowd energy. And Wisteria is also associated with beauty, among other things, femininity, soothing, beauty, and other things as well. So here is Wisteria vine plant spirit's message for this week of May 25th, 2021. I wrap around what is before me, and I adore to wrap around crowds of people. I'm a plant that knows the human heart, and I share with you a message of peace and harmony. As you understand how to wrap yourself around divine structures that have been offered to you, you are able to use the feminine power of flexibility that I display. I am able to show my beauty, radiate this alluring scent, and provide people with beautiful, soothing energy. You, too, at this time, can exude the peace and beauty within your heart. Where there is hate, you can radiate the beautiful scent of love. When you feel drained Behold my flowers, and let this sight be a reminder that we are all expressions of divine life energy. Thank you, sacred Wisteria spirit. I can just feel the beautiful, soothing, feminine energy around me. And you can just imagine yourself at a party. I think I'm thinking of Wisteria that is often, I believe there's some Victorian associations with Victorian gardens in Wisteria, if I'm not mistaken. And you can just picture yourself with this beautiful flowering vine, just radiating that beautiful scent, just glowing with that beautiful color and the beautiful shape of that vine. And it makes you think about being flexible, being feminine. So this week, you might be called upon to bring out your feminine energy, to be flexible, to understand how to wrap around, how to dance with the energy that's being presented to you, how to be adaptable, how to kind of dance and flow with what's presented. That's a very feminine approach to life. And Wisteria can teach us that, as well as how to transmute some of this energy and soothe ourselves. And remember, as we radiate that intention of love, that can transform the energy of a crowd. We can uplift the vibration of a group or a crowd by holding our thoughts and intention and our heart energy on beauty and love and harmony. Sometimes we need to remove ourselves from a situation because it's just too much. But sometimes you might find, you bring that sunshine and that smile into a group of people or one person, and it really can make a difference. And we're all here to shine our light. And I believe that every little bit, every little smile and intention we put out there, every kind word, it all makes a difference in the evolution and ascension of this planet and moving into the new earth and more peace and harmony on this planet. Eckhart Tolle, who wrote The Power of Now, talked about flowers as the enlightenment of plants. I think this is so cool. I remember that when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today with flower healing and magic, and his idea that flowers are the enlightenment of plants when he was trying to talk about what enlightenment is, I think says so much about flowers and flower energy, that plants have energy. All life here on earth is energy. That's what life is. That's what we are. That's what plants are. The earth is. And flowers are a specific part of the energy of the plant. And they're the part that is associated specifically with things like new life, the springtime. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're still in spring. And so this is a time associated with flower medicine, flower energy, flower magic, as flowers are coming into bloom. And the spring is a time of return to life. So rebirth, return to life, associated with beauty and pleasure. They're associated with increasing these beautiful elements in the earth, and you can work with them to increase these beautiful elements in your psyche and your life. This full moon this week in a couple days is in the sign of Sagittarius, which is, it's also an eclipse. Sagittarius rules prosperity, wisdom, travel, like I was talking about, religion, higher education, abundance. And so the eclipse is giving us an opportunity to transform. You might have the opportunity to make positive transformations and changes in those areas in your life. Finance, wealth, higher wisdom, world travel, world cultures, education, higher education, understanding these wisdom traditions and different cultures, your money, your finances. So be open to receiving guidance and information that might help you transform your finances this week. And I wanted to share with you a few wildflowers you may call them weeds, but I call them wildflowers, that are associated with Sagittarian things. And if you tune into their energy, they might be able to help you with understanding how to make positive transformations and guidance for how you can unfold your divine potential here. So behind me, I have a couple of wildflowers. Here we go, using the correct hand. Here I have cinquefoil. You point to the right plant. Cinquefoil, and right next to the cinquefoil, I have the pinkish purplish plant is red clover, and the yellow plant is dandelion. And so the cinquefoil with those little yellow blooms over here is associated with money, cleansing, and many other things associated with love. And also it's a very, very common plant used in a lot of folk rituals and such. And so it's associated with prosperity and money. The red clover is also associated with money, wishes, success, removing negative spirits. Dandelion, you probably heard me talk about dandelion before. I love dandelion. It's one of my favorite plants. And I just love the dandelion energy. Dandelion is associated with the planet Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. So that might be a great plant spirit to work with this full moon. Dandelion is associated with wishes granted, spirits. Cunningham talks about spirit communication with dandelion. Dandelion can help you with spirit communication and divination. And Scott Cunningham talks about in his book on using plants ritually. It's called Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. And he talks about using dandelion in a magical way by blowing on the dandelion and noticing how many seeds are left, which is a form of wish magic. And there's all sorts of folk traditions. How many seeds are left on the dandelion predicts certain things, how many children you'll have, or different fun things like that. So, but dandelion is associated with prosperity and wishes granted and those Sagittarian Jupiter subjects, also divination, and Sagittarius is a good time to explore divination. So you might want to work with these plant energies this full moon or at any time. And how do I work with the plant energy and the flower energy, rather? Well, there's a few ways to work with the energy of the plant, keeping in mind everything is energy. And so the idea is you're working with the vibration of the flower. And there's a million ways to do that. One of the things I suggest when you first start working with flower energy, flower plant energy, is to get some actual flowers, and either the dried flowers or fresh flowers, and put them in containers so you don't know which one is which. Get yourself a variety, like at least 5 or so, and then hold each one so that you don't know which flower you're holding because you have it in a little box or a little satchel or sachet or some type of container that prevents you from seeing or smelling the flower. And then just commune with the plant spirit. Put yourself in a meditative state. Ask what energy this flower has. Ask what message this flower has for you. And then you really get a personal experience of psychically, intuitively tuning into the plant energy. And I recommend that you try this, even if you don't think that you're intuitive enough or psychic enough to do it. Try it. You might be surprised at the results that you get. Record whatever you get. You can also just hold a flower or behold a flower, look at it, tap into the energy by just gazing upon it. And this is another way of communing with that flower essence, communing with that flower energy, and ask the flower, what is your personality like? What would you like for me to know? What are your strengths, and how can you help how can we work together? And it's really about forming that relationship with that flower energy, with that plant energy. So placing flowers in your home, just cut flowers or potted flowers, is a beautiful way to bring in flower energy. You know, this is a ritual that is used all over the world. Why? Because it really does raise the vibration of the space, the scent, the vision of the beautiful flowers. Sometimes they're tactile and you can touch them. It creates this aura of beauty and healing and sensual and sensory pleasure. It creates this beautiful feminine energy in a room that adds that love and, as Tolle said, the enlightenment of the plant. So it can raise the vibration of the room. Some plants are actually used to, lavender is a plant that is used, a flower that is used to help with depression. And people who are feeling sad can use this as part of their plan for helping to, their self-care plan for helping to raise their vibration and help raise their mood. And just looking at the lavender plant, smelling it, can help to soothe. It can help to also shift your mood at least a little bit. And sometimes, depending on the person, a lot. Lavender is very healing in a lot of ways. So you can place flowers in your home. You can grow flowers. The process of growing a plant and watching it bloom is amazing. Have you ever done that? I always find it's just so thrilling, and I just feel the energy of the plant. It's so exciting to watch it have a bud, and then it's exciting to see its first blooms, and you can feel that energy. You can feel the new life as it grows, and that's a way to work with the flower energy. There's actually a mental health profession called horticulture therapy that uses mental health professionals that use plants and flowers in a structured way to help patients with their mental health challenges. And so bringing some of the different ways you can contact flowers into your life can bring you so much therapeutic benefits. That's why it's a ritual to bring a sick person flowers. You're bringing in life energy. You can use them fresh, you can use them dried, you can use the image of the flower, and you can even tune into the energy of the flower without having any of that nearby. You can just tune into the energy of the plant by invoking it in your imagination. That is very powerful. If you can smell the flower and touch the flower and have the flower there, it can be powerful in some ways depending on the person, but a lot of the power is you're stimulating your unconscious mind, you're stimulating your imagination. And this is a really powerful way to connect with the energy. So if you can imagine smelling the flower, even if you're not near the flower that you want to commune with, that can be just as powerful. Everything is energy, so you're still tuning into the energy. That flower essence is transcendent of any one flower. It's the flower energy is all over the world. You can also ingest certain flowers. You can also try flower tinctures or flower essences. Bach flower remedies are a popular one. Of course, I don't recommend you try any health or healing modality without checking with your healthcare practitioner first. Just going on a walk in nature and admiring the flowers that are local, that are in your actual neighborhood, is a way to connect deeply with the plant spirits, your local plant and flower energies and spirits. And you can commune with them as you go on your walk. You can also incubate a dream, which just means to set your intention to have a particular kind of dream for meeting the right plant or flower entity that is most helpful for you. You can notice which flowers show up in your dreams, and this can also be a way to note what flower allies are working with you. I would like to guide us in a meditation. Of course, I recommend you don't do this while you're driving. To meet our flower plant ally, which is just the flower spirit that is most helpful to work with you at this time. By the way, I want to recommend Selena Fox has a great podcast on flower magic. She has her podcast on circlesanctuary.org. I think she has one up, one from a few years ago, rebroadcast. And you can see that under her podcast section, circlesanctuary.org. I really like her podcast, and this one on flower magic I thought was really inspiring. So she's another great person to check into if you want that particular podcast, especially more information on flower magic. So let's go through this short guided meditation. I want you to just take a deep breath, my friend. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I'll play this Tibetan singing bowl for you. I want you to just feel your body in the seat. Try and get in a comfortable seated position. Take another deep breath. Feel your body being supported by the seat, connected to the earth. Imagine that you are walking up to a beautiful garden. You see the entrance to it, and you hear birds chirping, little crickets chirping. You smell the sweetness of the flowers on the breeze that you feel on your skin. You set your attention to meet your spirit, your flower plant ally, flower plant spirit that is most helpful to you at this time. You now walk to the center of the garden and sit on the bench. And just feel the healing energy of the flowers around you. So uplifting and joyful. You're aware that there's a fountain nearby. There's pots, growing flowers in raised beds and pots. There's a gazebo with vines. There's woods nearby. Notice where you are drawn and move towards that area now. You now behold your plant ally, your flower plant ally, in whatever area of the garden you were drawn. You now observe your flower, greet it. Observe the smell and the color and the shape. You introduce yourself and begin to feel the energy of the flower. You can ask the flower, what message do you have for me? And open yourself to a response. It could be a feeling, or words, or images, or simply a knowing. Ask your plant flower ally, what message do you have for me? You now thank your flower ally for communing with you, and you feel the gift of its energy and strength as it It radiates the right energy to help you heal and grow this time. You say your goodbye, and now walk back to the entrance of the garden. Take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel yourself in the seat. Know that you will take back from this meditation what is most truly helpful for you. And remember all that you need to remember from that journey. Take another deep breath, wiggle your fingers and toes, and open your eyes. Feel yourself connected with the earth and grounded. I hope that was helpful to you, my friends, and I trust that you met the flower plant ally that is most helpful to you. And may this flower ally help you in the week ahead and the weeks ahead, and experiment with connecting with your flower friends, with connecting with that beautiful flower energy. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a beautiful Mercury retrograde and full moon. Until next time, blessings.